Hello Logic language learners. So I imagine if you found this video you have found the first video. If you haven't, this is part 2, so please make sure you like part 1 and watch part 1, and if you're new to the channel please subscribe, etc. So the next one, number 7, is to be right. Okay, so again an expression which is not going to use to be but is going to use to have. Okay, so now, I have lots of problems with this one from people. Say the word for house, maison. Change the word to an S at the beginning, give me season, saison. Change the word to an R at the beginning, raison. Okay? Everybody wants to say raisin, which is a grape, not a raisin, a grape. A raisin in French is a raisin sec, a dry grape. So I'm right is I have reason. Okay, I have reason, which is something that you hear in Italian and Spanish as well. It's a common format. So, j'ai raison, and find the en. Okay, so I was right again. Yeah, find the was, j'avais raison. Okay, j'avais raison, I was right. You're wrong. There's another expression which is avoir tort, T-O-R-T. J'ai tort, I'm wrong. But to be honest with you, most of the time we just say you don't have reason. Non, t'as pas raison. Moi j'ai raison, t'as pas raison, you're not right, okay? So he's right, okay? Il a raison, okay? I'm sure you're right. Non, je suis sûr que vous avez raison, okay? So a really useful expression to be right, okay? Lovely. Number 8 is a fantastic combination, and it's one that we need to talk particularly about language, and that is the words to say something means something, okay, which is vouloir and dire. So we have two infinitives, so vouloir and dire. So we don't, which means wants to say, so we don't as such have an expression, a verb, which means to mean. Okay, so if we were at a party and, okay, let's pick a name, Callum. Callum is a fantastically talented linguist, somebody I'm working with at the moment. So let's say I'm at a party and I'm looking after Callum because he's too young to drink, although we might give him something. So if we said, oh, well, what Callum means is, say he was trying to make a point and the person didn't understand him, say because, for example, he was doing very well in French and he wanted to speak in a more complicated level of French, and I'd say, oh, no. What Callum means is what Callum wants to say. So Callum, as a person with a brain, wants to say something. So the word to mean is wants to say. So what is the verb to want? Je veux, tu veux, il veut, nous voulons, vous voulez, ils veulent. Yeah, or je voulais in the was. Or I will, je voudrais, ça voudra, that will want. So all we're then going to do is we're going to put that verb in a conjugated form, and the dire is going to go in the infinitive form. So it will always be je veux dire, il veut dire, ça voulait dire. Yeah, dire will just be there. But this expression is also used when you have objects. So you say, what does that mean? Yeah, so for example, if you said, what does pig mean in French? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? What does it mean? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire cochon en français? Or qu'est-ce que ça veut dire pig en français? Or if you wanted to say, what does pig mean? You could say, qu'est-ce que pig veut dire? So you can either say, what does that want to say? Pig. Or what does pig want to say? But either way, veut dire. Also, if you were talking figuratively, like, oh, that means that we're going to have to basically start eating better, because, we've all been eating a bit back, or ça veut dire. So that means, so it can be either the sense of something, what something means in another language, what something entails for the future, what we're going to have to do. So the same way, exactly the same different ways that we would use the word mean in English, apart from mean as in, oh, he's very mean, he's not very nice person, which would be méchant. méchant. M-E with an accent, C-H-A-N-T, or méchante for feminine. Yeah, from méchanceté, meanness, okay? So, good. The next one is to drop, okay? Which I really like. I drop things quite a lot because I'm always in a hurry, okay? So to drop is to let fall, even if you didn't do it on purpose. So when I was little and I used to hear this verb, I used to think, but I didn't let it fall. But it does mean to fall, to drop, to let fall, laisser tomber. It's like you let it fall, even though you didn't do it on purpose, but you let it fall. So again, whenever you have two verbs in a combination, you are going to have to keep the second one in the infinitive. So I dropped it, je l'ai laissé tomber. Let's write that one out. So laisser tomber. Okay, laisser tomber. Obviously, laisser, L-A-I-S-S-E-R. I dropped it. Je l'ai laissé tomber. I allowed it to fall. Je l'ai laissé tomber. I let it fall. Je l'ai laissé tomber. So this is a really good one. Okay. I had dropped it because it's an action. You're going to use the further tense. Je l'avais laissé tomber. Now the reason I push this one is that in French we'll often say, oh, laisse tomber, like drop it, forget it, whatever, move on. Yeah, laisse tomber. Well, forget your dress, you've got a bigger problem with your makeup tonight. Yeah, you haven't done that. Girls will say, oh, mais laisse tomber la robe, quoi. You know, don't worry about the dress. The dress. Qu'est-ce que tu vas, you know, what are you going to do for this? So this is a really, that was a very female example. I'm very, not that I'm saying women need to wear dresses or makeup. If they wear neither, they are completely fine. But you see what I mean. So, a really useful expression, okay? Laisser, you've heard in English for laisser faire. Yeah, like live and let live. Let people do what they want to do, okay? He let me smoke. Remember though, we're more likely to use permettre, okay? And I will pop the link up for the permettre verb video as well. So I've now got 4 videos to pop underneath as well. So yeah, so that would be he let me smoke, il m'a permis de fumer. Okay, but to leave something behind as well would also be laisser. But in this case, the phrasal that I want is laisser tomber. Now, the The 10th one that I really like is to realise. Can we make absolutely clear that réaliser can be used for to realise? Yeah, it can. But it's also used for to make real, like to realise your ambitions. And this is the origin of the word realise, because it means I make it real in my head. It's real to me in my head. So I realise she's pregnant, but we could still walk a bit of the journey. Yeah, it's real to me that she's pregnant. You know, I understand. So this is a phrasal compound. Se rendre compte. Now this is what will be in the dictionary, 3 parts. I always like to teach from the infinitive, as you know, but what is useful about an infinitive, particularly when we have reflexives and particularly when we have an en in there as well, which we haven't there, is you are going to have to remember to have every bit of the reflexive and every bit of the infinitive in there. So if I've got se rendre compte, in whichever part of the verb I'm talking, in whichever tense, I'm going to need all 3 of those parts. So I realise, je me, I've changed se for me, rends, yeah, je me rends compte. Je me rends compte, I realise. If you're not sure why rendre becomes rend, then this will be explained in the soft and hard video, which will be underneath. So, je me rends compte, I realise. Tu te rends compte, il se rend compte, nous nous rendons compte, or on se rend compte, vous vous rendez compte, il se rend compte. If you needed to stick this in the past, this would be je me suis rendu compte, which I will pop up there, is my poetry and past video. So, je me suis rendu compte. So, compte is an add-on. We're just adding compte. Now, can I basically remind you that we are not saying compt, we're saying can't. Okay? Say can't, or can't, I can't even say it the other way. Say he can't, can't. Those of you that are North American speakers or North of England speakers, he can't, yeah, it'd still be can't, it's not like grass and grass. He can't, okay? I suppose an American would say he can, okay? So the fact is, can't, now make it can't, with an sound in the nose, So he can't, he realises, il se rend compte, okay? Good. So this expression would be an action, so he realised. So when we have an action in the past, we're going to use our we're not going to use our wishy-washy, we're going to use our action method, 1, 2, 3. So he realised, il s'est rendu compte. And again, I will link the video onto how you stick that tense in the action. But the point is, it's the great one. So I realised I was late. Je me suis rendu compte que j'étais en retard. J'étais en retard. Good, so a really useful one. Yeah, okay, you're going to realise that this video was perfect. Vous allez vous rendre compte que cette vidéo était parfaite. Okay, good. So those are the 10 that I wanted to give you. Try and use them. The other great thing is the reason I've done them is they are brilliant for exams. So think of where you could swap or insert these words. So for example, instead of saying I know that, je sais que, you could say je me rends compte que, I realise that, okay? Yes, you're writing an essay. Yes, my mother said, you can go out. You're right, you can go out. Tu as raison, you know, whatever, you're going to stick these in. So they're really useful to have for general exams anyway, just to bump up the level of your French to show that you are speaking in more than one word at a time. So I hope this was useful. I might do another video on really useful phrasal verbs, okay? I hope this was useful. If it was, please subscribe to the channel. Please click like. Email me some translation because I've only got a few of those and I'm probably going to do one tomorrow, so that would be good fun. And I look forward to hearing from all of you soon. Very best wishes.